What's good, my peopleizations? What's shaking? What's shaking? What's shaking with y'all? I'm a few minutes late, man. And I was on time, man. I was on time and ended up a few minutes late, man. I don't know why it's like a little bit blurry. It's a little bit blurry, man. I don't know why. Salute to my peoples, man. What's shaking? What's shaking? What's shaking? What's shaking? I don't know why it's so blurry, man. Sheldon Holmes, what's good? Call my brother Kurt Anderson. Get him up in here. You know, let's get it going, my peopleizations. What's shaking, my peoples, man? Smash the like button. Let's get it going, man. Let's get it going, man. Malcolm Jackson, you clear on this end. My brother CB Sports TV, Carl Burrell, Damian Hennix, Mr. Male Advice, DIY, salute. What's shaking, my peopleizations? Bert for marketing. Let me go back to the top. Get it in, man. Get it in, get it in. What's shaking? River 6 SB90, TBABTMC, Legendary Top Cats, my brother, reside in Texas, but he Harlem through and through. 503 Lions, salute. Maurice McElroy, salute. Stanley Bailey, Harold Jones, River 6 SB90, Ty King, alive, my brother. Money Ron, what's good? Stephen Lamontes Hawkins, Bert for marketing, what's shaking, what's shaking? LDTB, 4X LAC, Dane Watson, Jay West, Elvis Henson, salute, 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 salute. Tony Boswell, what's good? What's good? It's just boxing. Salute. Eugene Williams, Mr. Shelton, David Scott III, King Louis, Jafari Caesar, Syndicate J, Michael J 616. What's shaking? What's shaking? Carver Williams, salute. Sheldon Holmes, Kel C. Unknown 4, Joe Brown, Zaza Brown, peace and blessings, Queen. How you doing? I was about to say Grand Rising. This is late in the evening. Larry Lawson, 83. What's shaking? What's shaking, my people? Smash that like button, man. Smash the like button. Let's see. Why this camera so? Smash the like button, my peoples. Smash it. Yeah. We in the building. New Jersey, Jay Lee, Mike Caps. What's good? What's shaking? What's shaking? Cali Buzz. What's good? Smash the like button, man. Get them likes up to 100. Them likes up, man. Try to get my brother Kurt Anderson in here. I send the Queen Miss Boxing the link. Get my brother Curtis Anderson in the building, man. Where you at, Kurt? Where you at, Kurt? Kurt, where you at, Kurt? Where you at, Kurt? Benjamin Franklin, salute. Yeah, man. Yeah, we live. You heard? We live, man. We live. We live. Smash the like button, my peopleizations. We're going to get into this. There goes 619, Cali Factor. What's good? Mello, salute. Donell Nui, salute. Yeah, that's going down Thursday, too. That's a weird day, right? Thursday night is going down. Nui, Donaire fight. DJ QMOB, salute. Benjamin Franklin, what's good? Was the fight fixed, Blue? Yeah, it was, man. You know what I'm saying? But listen, who am I, man? DeAndre Carey, salute. Bruce Gold, salute. There you go. There you go. What's shaking with you, Kurt? What's shaking, my brother?
Man, I'm chilling, man, on this Monday evening. Kind of chilly in North, man. I'm just sitting on the couch. I was a little late. I had something to do. I'm here. It's 20 after 6, man, and we'll get the show started.
Yeah, man. I I was already set up, ready to go and everything, right? And then started talking to the wife and forgot, man. All I had to do was hit the button. I was already ready, man. I meant to text you. I started talking to the wife. Next thing I know, I looked at the time. I'm like, oh, man. It was already 10, 12 minutes after, man.
Wow, man. Yeah, 2 hours already go fast, but
yeah.
Somebody always tell me to do something. I told my son, don't call or ask me something before 6 or after 8, and I had to run out real quick, man. I'm here and hey, man, ready to talk some boxing, man.
Yeah, man, it always gets us, man. Like you said, the time is short already. You know what I mean? But we had some interesting things take place this weekend. Which saw Canelo Alvarez be crowned, a 4-division world champion. And there were some things, man, I personally didn't agree with. Seth Rosenhoff, salute. Bruce Gold, salute. Wayman Casey, salute. There were some things, man, I just didn't agree with. I didn't agree with the fact that they compared him to Henry Armstrong. I didn't like that, because it's shortchanged the accomplishments from Henry Armstrong. Oh, now the super chats are highlighted. Salute to Joe Brown in the super chat. He said, click on the link in the chat for Marvel's Corner to keep a good channel. Salute to Marvel's Corner. What happened to Marvel's Corner? I don't know what happened. GL, salute. So me personally, Kurt, and I'm gonna tell you why, and the people why I didn't like the comparison is because I felt like it kind of undermined the accomplishments that Henry Armstrong had. And when I say that, it's because they don't explain all that Henry Armstrong had achieved when he held those belts simultaneously in multiple weight classes. They didn't explain that he was undisputed. They didn't explain that, those were blue chip divisions. These wasn't, these new divisions that were created, and they crowned him before he even made his ring walk. And the way they did it, it was like until now, you know what I'm saying? It was like he pushed Henry Armstrong to the side. That's the feeling I got. When we had Russell Westbrook achieve what he achieved in as far as those triple doubles, and remember Oscar Robertson was the only person to achieve that, for a whole season and such. They never talked about Oscar Robertson as if he was surpassed. You know what I mean? They made his achievement, the achievement of averaging a triple double, a huge thing. They just threw out Henry Armstrong like the only man to do it, and now until now, and then they didn't even put it side by side. I don't know, man. I didn't like the way that the comparison. What's your thoughts, Curry? Am I right in feeling the way I feel about that, man? Or what's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, Canelo can't even carry Henry Armstrong boxing gloves and jockstrap in his trunks. Henry Armstrong was a fighter who was 151 wins, 21 defeats, with 101 knockouts, 9 draws, and he's once scored 27 straight knockouts. I have him number 3 of all time, behind Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Robinson. That's how great of a fighter he was. He was the best pressure fighter that ever put on a pair of boxing gloves that I ever seen in my life. 27 straight knockouts. He was a featherweight champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
He beat Peter Saran for the featherweight title. He went past the lightweight division, won the welterweight title, weighing only 133.5 pounds. Beat the great Barney Ross, great Jewish fighter, dropped back down to lightweight and beat Lou Ambers and held the titles simultaneously. And honestly, he fought a Filipino fighter by the name of Severino Garcia, who a lot of people thought he beat. He would have been middleweight champion. He would have had 4 titles at the same time, but they called that fight a draw. But he really won. I saw the fight. He really won. But, you know, that's how great Henry Armstrong was. And Canelo Alvarez is a very good fighter. He really is. I'm a fan. I got him number 3 pound for pound. I don't know if the fight was fixed. I won't go that far. A lot of people, they have a right to their opinion. But when you have a fight that's predetermined, so obvious, and they make it so obvious, it gives you the opinion that the fight is fixed, the fix is on. And I done seen fights where they was fixed. A lot of fights. You know, but you know, it damages Canelo because people now are skeptical. Sergey Kovalev didn't try to win the fight, man. He fought like he has no puncher power, even though this is not the same guy. It's the temperament that he displayed or lack thereof, and I was very disappointed. And not only that, we're gonna get into why it took so long. They stepped aside to UFC, but first things first. But I just didn't like the feel of the fight. It was predetermined already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's my whole thing. They said until now, and they said Canelo Alvarez has become. When you use words become and until now, those key words highlight the fact that it's a foregone conclusion that this is what you're going to achieve. It's already set in stone. And I understand when people say, well, they wanted to speak it into existence. They wanted to, you know, speak it, believe it, receive it. Yeah, but when you are the promoter, and yeah, Canelo is your prized possession, you still have to respect the champion when you're coming into his weight class. It's just out of respect. Okay, he even ring walk first. Cool. I told people he was going to ring walk first and he was going to get introduced last. I told people that was going to be the case because Canelo Alvarez is the A side. But still in all, when you use certain kind of words, I could pick sense from nonsense. When you tell me he has become before he even made the ring walk, when you say to me he's accomplished, he's the only man until now. When you use these types of words, right? Remember when on training on American Gangster, when when Nicky Barnes told Frank Lucas, I don't like these kind of words you're using in my establishment. You remember that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just choice of words you're using in my establishment. You know what I'm saying? And those choice of words you use already told me this was predetermined. The outcome was going to be predetermined. And then when I look at Chris Manning's scorecard, and he have Canelo winning 7 out of the first 9 rounds. 7 out of the first 9 rounds. I thought Kovalev clearly won the first 4 rounds. I mean, it just seems so, you know, it's outlandish. And they kept talking about when you get, and this is another thing, Kurt, when you get the commentators and the boxing pundits and all these people talking about, and they're mentioning and highlighting the fact that, well, you know, you got to be careful with Canelo and the judges in Las Vegas. When you say stuff like that, and you are commentating, you know, it's so known, it's so obvious, and everybody knows this. It's the worst kept secret that it's hard to get a decision against that man. That's ridiculous, Kurt. Am I right?
Hey, you ain't wrong. You're exactly right, man. I mean, it's the feel of the fight that made me very uncomfortable because I knew that Kovalev had no chance of winning. And I'm not talking about styles. I'm not talking about puncher power or ring IQ, but the politics, you know, wasn't going to let him win. Politics of the sport, you know, promotion of the sport. He didn't have a chance in hell, you know, and it seemed like the crowd wasn't excited as they were early in Canelo's career because now when you see and hear people like Eric Morales and the old school, if you notice, old school boxing fans and fighters, they, you know, criticizing Canelo. It's constructive criticism. You know, it just has the feel of a good fighter being manufactured to be great. So we know he's good. The guy can fight. I'm not going to sit up there and no, because I like Canelo, but he doesn't need any help. And you're giving him help. You know, manufacturing him because you have an agenda. The agenda is this, Blue and chat. They want him to be along the same lines as our great fighters. They want to put him on a pedestal. That's the agenda. Not only great Mexican fighter, but great fighter period. So he's getting all these titles. So to the naked eye or the naked ear, you're going to be like, man, that guy Canelo must have been great. But, you know, you go look at Eric Morales' resume, you know, because he did it without help. Canelo's getting a lot of help, man, because he's the cash cow that the zone.
Yeah, and it's like, but it makes it worse, Kurt. He was getting help before he even got to the zone. Before he even got to the zone. Smash the like button, people. Let's get the likes to 100. I don't know what the like count is right now, but smash the like button. Get the likes up to 100. I don't know what it is right now, but smash it, man. We got 115 people looking, and I know y'all see a different number than me because I'm on the creator side, so I see the actual numbers. So smash the like button. I am L. Will, salute. Seth Rosenoff, Tony Boswell, salute. Joe Brown, salute. Smash the like button. My brother Bish, B Megastar, unknown force, salute. Avery Appendo, salute. But Mike Cap, salute. When you get, he's been getting his help. Smash the like button. Known for says 84 likes. Get the likes to 115, 120 right now. Smash it. Chase the coin. Salute. Get them likes up to 120, man. Y'all keep inform me on what the likes are. Get the likes up to 120, man. So you know, Kurt, he's been getting Arturo Shadi, salute. He's been getting this help. Newborn, salute. OPJ 5E, salute. He's been getting this help, you know, for quite some time, Kurt, and it's disturbing at this point in time when you have commentators and so-called boxing pundits and you know, guys that work for the zone. G5_Gabe, salute. The real McCoy, salute. You get guys that work for the zone and they say, well, they didn't like, and I don't know if you heard this before I get to that and forget this. Did you hear when Buddy McGirt said in the corner when they did the camera thing for Buddy McGirt? Did you hear Buddy McGirt when he said, the thing is, you know, I think that we're doing real good in this fight, but you know how the judges are. The judges not going to give. The judges probably already got us behind, and so you know how that goes. Did you hear that, Kurt?
Yes, I did. I paid close attention to it. Absolutely. And I'm glad McGirt said it because that's true, man. See, it's like Canelo's like a musician or artist. An artist has to have a machine behind him or her to be successful, like a Beyonce or an Adele, where they have everybody in their corner. You got the stylists and people propping you up to look better than you really are. You know, studio and technology, and that's what Canelo has. He has the announcers on his side. You know, if you didn't know any better, you would thought Canelo was Sugar Ray Robinson, man. And you know, he has everything going for him and pulling for him. And Buddy McGirt knows this, so I don't care who Canelo fights. It could be Charlo, it could be Andrade. You better fight him aggressively, or you have no chance of winning.
Yeah, and the mere fact that and then after Buddy McGirt said that, right? He said, I know they got us behind on the cards. I know they got us behind because this is Canelo Alvarez. And did you hear the announcer when he said, the commentator, I don't know if it was Chris Mannix, I don't remember who it was, but he said, oh, that kind of bothers me that he wants to highlight that right now. You know, you should have brought that up. He said it's a legit point. It's a legit statement, but that's something you should bring up and make the judges aware of before the fight starts. And then they were saying that they should have replaced one of the judges on the card. I'm like, what are we talking? How's this even a conversation? And people are looking at this as legitimacy. You know what I'm saying, Kurt? Like that just sounds ridiculous. If we talk about we got an issue with the judges that's on this card, I mean that just sounds ridiculous in my opinion. We got the Queen, Miss Boxing, in the building. She done stepped in. Salute to Miss Boxing. What's going on with you, Queen?
Salute, how you doing? Long day, but I'm here.
Yeah. How was your day? Everything was good?
It was all right. It's
No, no,
okay. It's Monday.
no blowouts, huh? You got the Monday blues.
Right.
Yeah, so smash the like button, my peoples, man. Get the likes to 125. We got 125 people looking, watching. Let's get 125 likes. I know y'all see a different number from me. I keep continue to tell y'all going to see a different number from what I see because I am the creator. So you're going to see a different number. That's just the way YouTube operates. I always see 10 to 15 more people in the room than you're going to see. So when you see a certain number to yourself, I see 10 to 15 more people. So whatever number you see, add another 15 to it. That's what I see. Sometimes it's 20 more people. That's just the way YouTube operates. And the reason I notice because I look at it on another device at the same time, so I can see the actual numbers that you guys see, and I see the numbers that I actually see. So smash the like button; it's free. So anyway, Miss Boxing, what did you think? Me and Kurt was just talking about the comparisons they made, with Canelo Alvarez and Henry Armstrong, which I personally felt like it was the way they did it. I didn't like how they presented it. I thought that it could have been much better. It's like they flashed Henry Armstrong and his accomplishments, and then said, "But now, it's like he overshadowed Henry Armstrong's accomplishments." You know what I mean? So, I personally, I didn't like that. So, but you could cook on that. Tell me what you think. Tito in Toledo said, "Where's the number?" Oh wow, I don't even got the number up there. I'm gonna put it up there. I'll put it up there in a second, man. But go ahead, Miss Boxing.
Yeah, to me, it seems like they don't even know the history. I mean, it was like someone threw some information out there, and nobody went to check because, I mean, Canelo, of course, isn't undisputed anything. I mean, it just seems like I don't know if they're trying to not rewrite history, but they're trying to to set this legacy up for him that's completely untrue. And for uh-oh, you still there?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
here.
okay.
It's
For
just
for for people like us, we know the deal, but for just regular casual fans, they have no clue. So of course it's going to look good to them. But I've heard a couple people say that even you know some of the people in Mexico don't aren't with the hype. So I just think it's a bunch of mess.
there goes the number. I was trying to put the number up there, and it made the screen completely white. So apologies, my peoples. But yeah, I just think that the whole situation, man. And then here's the thing, and I know a lot of people feel like, oh man, y'all people saying this, it was staged, it was fixed, and so on and so forth. But when you get people like Jennifer Lopez, and when you get people like Charlemagne the God, and when you get people like LL Cool J, and they all questioning it, Jennifer Lopez said that looked a little shady to me. I'm not the brightest person in the world, but that looked a little shady. LL Cool J followed it up by saying, that looked like a money grab. Was this all staged? With a question mark. Charlemagne just went all the way in. I can't even repeat what he was saying. But when you get people like Charlemagne and people like that are coming out and they having issues with the outcome and the entire event in its totality, when there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I mean? So what you think about that, Kurt?
Absolutely, because now it's becoming more obvious. It just gives the sport a black eye, man. When you have a guy who can already fight, who doesn't need any help, and he's getting help, and now people who don't really know boxing, entertainers, and athletes, and so on and so on, is they seeing what we see. So we even here we seeing BS. Here's a guy that already winning before the fight started is being predetermined that we have a winner, and when you put up 4 times champion and all that, man, I'm like, it becomes it's a bad look for the sport, man. It really is, man. Boxing survives a lot of stuff, but the so-called face of boxing, and it's just to me, it's just a lot of sketchy stuff, man. I really didn't like the feel of the fight, man. It just felt like it was fixed because it was so predetermined. Now, people want to say it's fixed. That's their opinion. I just didn't like how Kovalev looked when he got hit with that left hook. That's hard to his nerve. You know, he did the little mashed potato, little dance. You know, but yeah, that's what he did. He did the bus stop against Ward, and he did the mashed potato against Canelo. You know, but you know, it was just the Kovalev, the way he fought, the temperament. I look at a fighter's temperament. He wasn't trying to win. He had no solid punches. I never seen him like that. And it's a coincidence that he got a nice check. He got a $12 million plus, and you know he did this performance. He doesn't care now. He's saying he's going to continue fighting. He got the bag, so you know it just makes Canelo look bad because now you got your own country and your fighters that came before you that paved the way for you, saying you know he's being manufactured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, so you know, it's just you know, and like you said, Kurt, the worst part about it is we know he could fight, he could box, he don't need help, you know, he don't need any help, you know. Listen, Canelo Alvarez could box, he just can, he could fight, the dude could box, right? It's just sometimes when situations like this where he kind of felt like he was out of his league. And you know, it seems like, you know, they're going to give him an extra push, you know. And just watching the fight, Kovalev jab, it just looked like Kovalev could just jab him. What? Hey, Kurt, Ms. Boxing, what did I tell y'all my game plan for Kovalev was? And it will work. I said, all you got to do is jab, straight right. And when Canelo get close, just tie him up. That's what he did for the most part, for at least the first 5 rounds. Right? And it was an easy fight. It was an easy fight. And then out of nowhere, I mean, I knew he was going to have these moments and these lapses where he would fade and Canelo would get close and land some body shots. And Canelo definitely seemed to be the quicker fighter. But the problem with that was I couldn't tell if Canelo Alvarez was legit the quicker fighter because Sergey wasn't throwing anything out there with conviction. He refused to commit to anything, so it makes it just the whole thing just makes you question, and it's really ridiculous. What you think, Ms. Basu?
Well, I mean, I've heard people say that they thought that Kovalev.
You sound a little far back.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, a lot of people were saying that Kovalev got tired, but he wasn't. To me, he wasn't doing enough to get tired, and both of them were doing that little pity pat stuff. The first 6 rounds, I just don't believe it. And I'm a Kurt. That left hook was suspect to me. That looked like acting to me. I mean, but the knockout punch, okay, I can get down with that. But not the left hook. It just I just don't believe it. We sat there, we waited all those hours to watch them do that all night. It was ridiculous. I mean, neither one of them was doing anything. Yeah, Kovalev, he was jabbing and all that stuff, but his jabs weren't effective. I mean, he was jabbing like he was. I don't even know I don't even know what to call it. It was, people say pity pat. That's all he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was no effective anything. And then when I was looking at they were showing the punch stats. I was like, are you serious? I mean, neither one of them were throwing or landing anything. Well, Kovalev was definitely throwing more, but neither one of them was landing anything. You know, according to the copy box, but. I definitely didn't believe that fight. I'm sorry. I don't like to say stuff is fixed, but something just wasn't right. It might not have been staged, but the stage was definitely set prior to the fight.
Yeah, and you heard what Chris Eubanks said. Chris Eubanks said, "Is it me or Kovalev is trying his best not to throw anything to hurt Canelo?" I mean,
and you know, it's a good thing because we've been doing this for years, saying all the wrong things that we see what's going on, all the fixes and stuff like that. But it's so good now for boxers and, you know, personalities to come out and say, hey, we see it too. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, you know when you got a little brother and you don't want to hurt him, so you know he's shorter than you, and you just put your hand on his forehead and you just keep him at bay, and he's swinging and he can't touch you. You know,
right.
It seemed like that's what Kovalev was doing.
That's exactly what I saw, and like I said, I couldn't believe it. It was like during those like first 6 rounds, I was like, neither one of them came to fight, And then Canelo had the nerve to say that Kovalev didn't come to fight, didn't want to fight. It didn't look like he wanted to either.
And Kurt, you go ahead and cook on that.
It's, Kovalev, when he fought Hopkins and Pascal and Ward, you could see his purpose. You could see the determination. You could see the temperament. You could see the attitude. He had an attitude as a knockout artist. This fight, he had an attitude like Paulie Malignaggi, like he couldn't crack an egg. It's just the contrast of Sergey Kovalev from before and now, and the Kovalev fight, even against Anthony Yarde. He was in a dog fight and he won it. He was throwing punches with murderous intentions, as Mike Tyson used to say. These punches, man, he was throwing like little Catholic schoolgirls, man. The jab, he was touching the gloves. He was winning the fight. Easy, fairly easy. Oh man, I was like, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. And I was but I kind of knew that something was fishy, man. From them, the fight started at 12:57. They was in the ring. For them taking a side step for the UFC to it's just the feeling of that night was a very strange one. I've never seen a fight start that late, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, man. And the fight was not exciting at all. Canelo he got booed from his own crowd. People forget that he was booed. When he was moving around the ring and stuff like that, he was buying his time. And then the knockout, okay. But still, all in all, I look at Kovalev, man, that he was so tentative, man. I just don't understand it. And when something is so fishy, if something smells fishy or looks fishy, it's fishy. And it was fishy. Point blank, man.
And Kurt, you remember early in the fight when Kovalev hit him with a right hook and it happened to go behind his glove and it hit him on the jaw. It landed on Canelo's jaw. It's almost like Kovalev wanted to say he was sorry.
Yep. One of the shots puts him back. He hit Canelo and Canelo didn't like it. I don't know if people caught that. He kind of backed up and then started again. And I was like, yeah, I could see if Kovalev goes all out, he can beat this dude, man. But the plan was him, stay the course, write the shit and follow the script.
Right.
And it just seems like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
So now on Thursday, I gotta watch Inouye versus Donaire so I can get this bad taste out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm. And you know what it was, Kurt? It was like, don't do too much. If you happen to win doing what you're doing, you win. But it was like, don't assert yourself too much. Remember that body punch that he caught him with as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was like, and it was almost like he wanted to be like, whoops. Like you could see where he was just letting them fly at times. He was just getting in the groove, and it was like, oh man, it just. But another thing before we get a special guest on, another thing I wanted to talk about was Devin Haney calling out Gervonta Tank Davis. He said, as soon as this fight is over Saturday night, I want to give Gervonta Tank Davis the opportunity to fight for a real title, my WBC title, at 135. We can make it happen since you campaign at this division. Let's make it happen next. And Gervonta Tank Davis' response was, stay in your place before I hurt you. You'll definitely get hurt. And then he followed that up by saying, I'll whip him like I'm his dad. He needs to relax. But I didn't see anything that Devin Haney said that made him respond that way. He just said, listen, let's make it happen. Let's fight. The best fight the best. I'll give you the opportunity to fight for the real title. Right? And he said, well, you didn't even earn that title. It was given to you. I earned everything. Me, in my mind, is like, he's giving you the opportunity to fight for it. Take the opportunity. Why not? What you think about that, Kurt?
Let me tell you something about Tank, man. I know Tank can fight and everything, but he had the strangest answers. Because I remember Lomachenko wanted to fight him, and he had something on Twitter saying, I'm not going to entertain you. He's not giving definitive answers. Now with Haney, it's like he's saying strange things. It almost seems like he's kind of reluctant. I don't know. Maybe it's me. You know, I got to see more of Tank. I want to see how Tank handles a guy who has speed just like he do. And the same with Haney. That's a very interesting fight, Haney versus Tank, because it's going to bring out the truth in both fighters because they both have power, speed, you know, athleticism. I like Haney's footwork a little better. Tank is like real, very powerful, good body punter. So a fight like that will be shocking because do they really want to take that chance? It seems like Haney has more aggression than Tank. I think he'll fight anybody. I think that's just who he is. He called out Lomachenko. He said something about Teofimo. You know, and I don't think he's, you know, clout chasing either. He wants all the smoke because that's all he knows. Tank, on the other hand, I don't know, man, that none of these fights has materialized. So after Gamboa, I don't want him to go back. I want him to go forward. I want him to fight nothing but A-listers. We want to see how good you are. And fight with Haney, I doubt it'll happen, but, you know, it'll be very interesting, man. It's because it will bring out the truth. It will be the moment of truth. That's how I will build that fight. Because how will Devin Haney deal with Haney's athleticism and speed, and how will Haney deal with Tank's athleticism and power?
Yeah, what you think, Miss Boxing?
Yeah, I don't think Tank wants that smoke at all. I really don't. And the thing is, it's like, okay, you say he didn't earn that belt, then why don't you go out and prove to people that he doesn't deserve that belt? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's acting like Devin Haney is a nobody or something like that. It's really, I don't think he wants smoke. And I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's Mayweather. I don't know if it's a team. I don't know what it is. But Tank, I don't see him, you know, it's like he always make excuses about fighting other fighters. Oh, they don't have they have losses. You ain't got no belts. You know, you ain't earn it. Why don't you just go out and fight somebody? We are waiting to see Tank go and dig in somebody that's worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? And Tank has every excuse in the book. We know he's a good fighter. Why don't he just go out there and fight? And I don't know if Mayweather's trying to protect him. I don't know what the deal is. But I'm getting tired of him. I really am.
Yeah, I think that, you know, I don't agree when he says, like, you know, you need to sit down and watch yourself. Like, just make him sit down and watch yourself. I mean, this is the hurt business. You know, we in the hurt business. So, you know, if he calling you out, you know, don't tell him to be careful. You know what I'm saying? No, don't be careful. You know, make it happen. Okay, listen. And you are the mandatory. He's going to be, he's the number one, he's ranked number one in the WBC. So you're gonna be, the fight has to come to fruition at some point in time, or if Devin Haney, because Devin Haney continues to inform us that he won't be sticking around 135 too much longer because he's not having the easiest time making the weight. But still in all, you know, with that said, I feel like make it happen.
Right. I'm like, if you can call out Josh Taylor, then why can't you accept the fight with Devin Haney?
Right,
I'm just saying.
right. Like, I mean, listen, don't make it easy on them. Make it light on yourself. Okay,
Right. Exactly.
right. Like, make it happen. You see what I'm saying? Like, if he wants to smoke and you, regardless, I don't understand when these dudes be like, man, it's too early for him. Well, what does it matter to you that it's too early for him? If he calling you out, he want that smoke, give it to him. Period. Don't make it light on him. You know what I mean? You're gonna fight Yoriokas Gamboa, and you stating that Yoriokas Gamboa is, you know, seasoned. This is the biggest fight of your career, so on and so forth. You know, cool. All right. So after that, where you gonna go? Lomachenko
That's
don't
what I
seem.
want to see.
Yeah, Lomachenko don't seem too interested. You know what I mean? And I think that Gamboa's chin proving that he ain't gonna be able to withstand the onslaught that Tank Davis dish out. We seen him knocked down and hurt in numerous of fights before he even had his first loss to Terrence Crawford. He was getting knocked down and buzzed and dancing around the ring and all types of stuff. Far before he even lost to Terrence Crawford, his chin was already in question. So, you know, I just think that, you know, listen, if somebody calling you out, And they have a belt. He has a legit belt. I don't care how he got the belt. He has it. Make it happen. Make it happen. How you guys see that fight playing out, Kurt?
Well, he chose Gamboa for that reason. See, that's why I'm kind of skeptical on Tank. I said all these other fights don't materialize, and then boom, Gamboa fight happens and happen quickly because he's counting on Gamboa's chin letting him down, and he know he has power. And you see, like you said, Gamboa been knocked out at Crawford. He was down a million times. He was down against Castellanos. He got knocked out there. He has lapses on defense. He never fulfilled his full talent, in the professional ranks. For some reason, he has skill, but his defense is something to be desired, and Tank sees that. So Tank probably be like, hey, all right, make that fight. He's a name. He has a weak chin, so he's kind of perfect.
I'll be right back.
But I still don't know how good Tank is, man, until he fights somebody that, that can be a threat. I know he can fight. With these guys, Blue, man, before I pass it on to Miss Boxing, these guys are good. We just don't know how good they are because most fighters is not going to look great against A-level competition. They're not. They look great against B and C-level competition and fighters past their time and on the downside of their career. But fight somebody who's a threat. Now, if he go out there and beat Lomachenko or Haney, I'm going to be like, oh, man, Tank is the truth. But that truth is not yet found. Not yet. It's not told. Not yet.
And I thought Yoriokas Gamboa lost that fight with Sosa.
Yep.
I thought he lost that fight. I didn't think that was a dub for him. I thought he definitely lost that fight. But Gamboa is still gonna come. He gonna bring it. So we gonna. It's definitely not going the distance. He gonna bring it. He gonna bring it. But that's the problem. He brings it, and he's not disciplined and defensively responsible when he comes in. He comes in sort of reckless. He got a very awkward style. He leaves himself open, and I think that Tank's youth, explosion, and the speed is going to prove to be too much. We see Sosa was who just got stopped by Burchett, but I think what he's bringing to the table is going to be too much for. I think it's going to be an early night. I don't think it's going past the 5th round. I don't see that fight going past the 5th round. What you think, Ms. Boxing?
Yeah, I definitely think Tank's gonna take care of business. I don't know how long it's gonna take him, but yeah, Gamboa, his defense has never been up
You
to par.
sound muffled.
Okay.
Sound a little muffled. Jupiter B, Fidel Mercado, Moyo Sauce. He knows his sport. As soon as you're ready, Ms. Boxing, you can go ahead and finish cooking. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talk.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, I don't know why you sound far back or something.
Like really far back?
There you go.
Okay. No, I was saying I think it's probably gonna end. He's gonna knock him out, and Gamboa just doesn't have the defense. Tank has too much power, and I think it's gonna be maybe 6-7 rounds. I This is a fight that is kind of like he says it's his most difficult fight or whatever, but it's a name for him. I don't think it's any more than that. I think it's gonna be a real easy fight for him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's gonna destroy Gamboa. Gamboa is just not responsible on defense. He just leaves himself too far wide open, too exposed, and he's gonna take advantage. And they're gonna sell the fight because when you look at Gamboa's resume, as a casual fan, you're gonna see 30 wins, only 2 losses, 18 by knockout. He won his last 4 or 5 fights. So as you present that to the people, it's gonna look inflated. It's actually gonna be inflated to us as hardcore boxing fans. We know the truth, but to the casual boxing fans, his resume is gonna look inflated. It's gonna look, they don't understand the battles within the war. You know what I mean? They don't understand that the Jason Sosa fight in one of his last couple of fights, he should have got, it should have been at least a draw at the very least. You know what I mean? But Gamboa is still game, and he got a lot of power. And if you're not prepared, boy oh boy, because he still got power and he still got speed. So if you not prepared, he gonna test you. He gonna test you. You got to weather his storm. You know, he gonna test you. You know, but you know, it reminds me of he reminds me of Kurt and Miss Boxing, Emmanuel Augustus.
Oh, okay. I can
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, he got a lot of losses on his resume, but it's a tough fight. You know what I mean? Because of because of his approach to the sport. And we got a special guest on with us. There she go. There she go. She made it. What's going on with you, Queen?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing? I want to introduce you to my co-host and my moderator, Miss Boxing, and my co-host is Kurt Anderson, Kurt Sugar. We got Alycia Baumgardner on. What's going on, champ?
Doing good. Doing good. How are you?
First of all, I want to tell you congratulations.
Thank you
for your unanimous decision victory this weekend. You know, well prepared and locked in. You know what I mean? So, you know, what's next for you?
What's next is we have a fight date December 14th in Pennsylvania. So I'm right back in the gym, just staying ready, and it's going to be a main event, and it's going to be a 8-round fight for me. So I'm excited.
Oh, that's what's up. So you're going to headline the card?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's big. That's big.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. So now you had a big announcement. Could you just first of all, just introduce yourself to the people, because I already know who you are, so I'm jumping the gun, right? But just introduce yourself to the people that don't know who you are, what weight class you fight in, you know, just give it a background, you know, a description of your background.
Yeah, so Alycia Baumgardner, 8-1, 5 knockouts. I fight at super featherweight, and I just signed with my new promoter, King's Promotions, and yeah, it's an up and coming boxer in the game of women's boxing. So I mean, a lot of people know me, a lot of people don't, but we'll make sure that they know.
Yeah. I mean, you have a lot going on, you know. You're multi-talented, you know, but you're definitely committed to the sport of boxing, you know. With so many different avenues available to you, what makes you so committed to the sport of boxing?
You know, boxing requires dedication and discipline, and I've been disciplined as a young child, starting boxing at 8. And this is a lifestyle for me. Boxing is my passion. I put everything into it, and I just know what it takes to be a world champion. And it's just grinding till you get to the top, and then grinding even harder when you do get the world title. So I know the importance of just being disciplined in the sport, and how that can take you a long way. You know, you can be a world champion and fall off. You feel me? So I just want more for myself and out of the sport, and just to be remembered as one of the best women boxers. So it's definitely I'm all in 110%.
Now, the sport of women, for the sport of boxing in its totality, today's time is huge. You know, right now it's on fire. You know, but the women's boxing in its totality is I believe personally it's at its height right now. It's at the biggest it's ever been. You know, you have yourself. You know, you have Katie Taylor. You have Clarissa Shields. Cecilia Brackets is still around. You know, there's so many things. Alicia Napoleon. You know, so many of you guys. You know, legit. You know, it's not just. We just saw the fight this past weekend with Sparza and Estrada. You know,
Right.
You know, and that was a huge. You know, that was action packed. You know, Estrada moved up in weight. You know. So, you know, the sport of women boxing in its totality, I believe it's at its highest, you know. And I asked you before when I talked to you, you know, what can elevate the sport of boxing for women. But your fight was exciting. this past weekend. So there's two major fights for women boxing this weekend. Where do you see women's boxing headed? And I know Clarissa Shields, there was reports that she was set to make, before the unfortunate incident happened with the trainer, but she was set to be the first woman boxer to make $1 million and open that door for you guys. What do you have to say to that?
As far as the Clarissa, or just where women's boxing is?
Yeah, well, women's boxing in a whole, and you guys being able to, because you guys are really paving the way, making a real name. I know you're in the moment, but you're really paving the way for the women coming behind you guys. So
yeah.
Before you know it, women coming behind you guys are going to be making money, and just like the men are. So how do it feel to be in the moment, in the mix?
In the moment, and it feels good, and that's what I want people to understand, is that it's not just us, it's the youth behind us. And if we're able to do it, if we're able to have that platform, then the younger generation's able to have that. And it has to start with somebody. You have young boys who look up to the champions now, just the fighters now, and we need young girls looking up to multiple women, not just a Clarissa Shields or a Katie Taylor's, multiple women in the sport that are able to help the youth. We all have different stories. We all have different, just ways we can reach the youth. And I think it's important that they share that equal opportunity with the women in the sport, so the younger generation, especially these young girls who are coming up, that have the motivation to keep pushing and say, hey, I can make that $1 million, or hey, I can be a 3-time national champion, or I didn't even have to go, for my case, I didn't have to go to the Olympics to be a world champion. You know what I'm saying? So if you have hard work and dedication, you can be a world champion. So it's all about starting with us and then just, putting us on that platform.
Absolutely. Hey, Kurt, you got anything for her?
Yeah, Alycia Baumgardner, nice to meet you. KRUSHER. I've been following your career. Leonard to do for Saturday against Katie Taylor. You off to it by split decision. The fight could have went either way. I saw the fight, but you edged it out, to be honest. Will you be interested in the rematch if the time is right?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely voiced that I wanted the rematch. Again, it was a close fight. It was a split decision. I thought that I won. Again, it was an exciting fight the first time. And women's boxing, we always put on exciting fights, and that fight would be a perfect, exciting fight for the fans to see. And I definitely would like the rematch. Yeah.
Ms. Boxing?
How you doing, Alycia?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. My first question is, well, first of all, congratulations on your
Thank
win
you.
this weekend. And second of all, a couple weeks ago, I know Tierra Brown and Michaela Mailer, they both fought and they both won. Are those two fighters you might be looking at, or we might see in the future, or maybe you move up 135?
Yeah,
Serrano and
so
Taylor.
definitely anybody in 130 can definitely get the work. I like the competition. I'm an athlete, and I like to fight. So Tierra could get the work. Michaela can get the work. 35 pounders can get the work. Um, I plan on, dominating the 130 division and then moving up to 35. So, yeah.
All right. And my next question is this weekend, the fight this weekend, they actually had the ladies fighting 3-minute rounds, that was the first time I've seen that in a professional female bout. Is that something you're looking forward to? Is that something maybe you're hoping to be implemented in women's boxing?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if I 3 minutes. We train 3 minutes. I actually like it. I feel like with my fight in particular, the 2 minutes went by so quick, and I knew if I had an extra minute, I probably would have had her out of the by the second
Right.
round. 2 minutes goes by quick, but yeah, definitely. We train for 3 minutes, and fight two. So I'm definitely, would like to fight three. If the money's right though, too, they can't.
That's
I feel
right.
like the money gotta be right too. Like I'm not about to fight 3 minutes and get the same pay
Exactly.
as a 2-minute fight, you
That's
know.
right.
So
Okay, I have one more question. The bomb. Where did that nickname come from?
so my last name's Baumgardner, and before I turned pro, I'm like, I know I'm gonna have a ring name, and something gotta flow, and I'm just like, the bomb just flows with Baumgardner, so I'm like, that's what it is, the bomb.
Nice, nice,
So
nice. Well, again, congratulations, and I
thank
wish you
you,
nothing but the best in your future.
thank you.
We saw that when I told you last, I asked you about Cecilia Brackens. You said she could get that work. You know, so what you think about her new deal signing with the Zone? You know, and how would it work? You know, with your new deal for you guys to come together to make a fight happen.
I think with Cecilia, since I feel like they got nothing else really to push her, so why not sign her to the Zone? You know, it's an up and coming boxing platform, and so I feel like she's kind of gonna be out the door anyway, so let's just put her on the Zone. And with my team and promoter, I know we can make that fight happen. I guarantee it probably wouldn't happen just because they want to go out the safest way possible. So, what I'm saying, that's the business side of it. But
You think at this point in time she's just not willing to take the risk? You know, with
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. She took a risk fighting Kaylee, which I thought was really close. And, I understand like legacy and people not want to tarnish, their record and all. But with boxing, people have losses, and the losses always bring good fights too. So if we don't put too much emphasis on a loss and put emphasis on a great fight and two good boxers fighting, I think that people will respect boxing more and the women's boxing because we need those type of fights, So
now, let me ask you this: what do you think about Esparza complaining about the 3 minute round? She said that she wasn't sure if she wanted to do it because she don't know the effect it was going to have on her later on in the fight. But you get a lot of women that push for the 3 minute round because they want equality. So what do you feel like? Do you feel like that's working against, when you get somebody like Esparza that says, she don't know if her body could do it?
I feel like it's an individual thing. I feel like with women that I know, like most and majority, we already spar 3 minutes, and we're usually sparring men too. So it's, I mean, yes, it's different when you're in a fight because there's no headgear, smaller gloves. But I think you just prepare for those. You just prepare for the fight, and again, it's an individual's opinion. So I think she's just one voice to say that it might not be worth it. But again, out the sport, if we want to push the envelope on women's boxing, we gotta not even take a risk, push the envelope. Like
Right,
let's do 3 minutes. We can do it,
right.
And they put a great show on for 3 minutes. It was a great fight. So I definitely thought it was worth the 3 minutes of watching each round.
Yeah, I definitely felt like that was a real entertaining fight. Kurt, what did you think, Kurt?
Yeah, it was. I want to ask Baumgardner another question. What is your most effective and best punch? You would say.
My most effective, all of them. I would say all of them. Combination punches. You know what I'm saying? Put my punches together. I feel like is pretty deadly. So
Go ahead, Kurt.
And another question. In between fights, what is your walking around with?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Shoot. Can you
There
hear
you
me?
go. Uh-huh. You gave it? You there?
Hmm.
You there? You there? You can hear us? Oh, I think she fell off. She'll be back in.
Hey Kurt, when you asked her what her punch was, I thought she was gonna say the body shot because when she fought Gabriella Mazie, I think it was Mazie, she hit her with this body shot that was just like devastating. So I thought she was gonna say body shot.
There she go.
My apologies.
No problem.
I don't know what we were talking about.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Oh yes. What is your walk around weight in between fights?
Say that again.
He said, "What's your walking around weight in between fights?"
I would say 47. 47, 45. It just depends, really, but 47.
Now you stay disciplined. You know, you work out. You're very disciplined. You know, so what is it that it's not like you're a person that you know seems to be, you know, in between fights and just putting on all types of weight. So what is it that makes you gain weight in between fights? Because you're always disciplined.
I feel like it's just more muscle, and I drink a lot of water. So the water is really a water weight, to be honest with you, because I drink about 1.5 gallons a day. So I'm eating well, and I'm drinking a lot of water. So that's mainly the gain, the weight gain that I get is from my water.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Yes, I want to ask you, Ms. Baumgardner, when you have like an opponent, do you study film or you just go along as a fight happens? Some fighters, they study film of their opponents and fight. Some fighters prefer not to. So do you study your opponent on film?
Yeah. I definitely look at any fights that they have, and I look at it. I don't really deeply thoroughly look through it like that. I just know because how they're fighting isn't how they're gonna fight me specifically. So me as a fighter has to make adjustments in the ring. And so that's what I also base it off as well. But I mean, I get a gist on how they're gonna fight, you know, what they're throwing and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's all about making adjustments when you're in the ring.
Let me ask you this: what's your main source of cardio, and what's your guilty pleasure in between fights?
I would say running sprints and swimming would be my cardio, and just like hit workouts. I mean, when I work out, I go straight. It goes to shadow boxing, to sparring, to hitting the bag, to jump rope, to abs. So it's consistent. So like that builds that cardio as well. But my guilty pleasure, I would say, obviously, is food, but sushi, tacos, you name it. Like I just love food. Food is like my love language, so it don't really matter as long as I'm eating something. Literally.
Now, for the people that don't know, I already know, but what's your background? Because people are gonna say, "Oh, what is she?" You know, so just tell the people what's your background.
Yeah, I'm Japanese, Korean, German, and Black.
Mm.
Yep.
Miss Boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did have another question I forgot to ask. I know, like you said, your first 5 fights were TKOs, and
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that compared to other women in the division, it seems like you have a lot less rounds, career
Mm-hmm.
rounds. And do you see that as a disadvantage in any type of way?
Not exactly. I feel like it's a building block. So, um, I think I had did an interview once where I said like you see different parts of a fighter. So you might early in my career you seen like the early knockouts. So later on in my career you see more of the rounds going the distance. So that shows just more of the boxing than I can do. So I feel like it's it's a just a stepping stone, I guess you would say, but nothing to disadvantage. No.
Okay. And male and female, past or present, your favorite female or and male boxer?
So my favorite male boxer would have to be Mike Tyson, and women boxers Ann Wolf.
All right.
Yes.
Have you ever met Ann Wolf?
No, I haven't. No.
What and any now we know a lot of the men, you know, they have sparring wars and what happens in sparring stays in sparring and things of that nature, you know, but we know a lot of guys, high profile boxers, they spar each other. Is there any is it the same goes for you guys? Have you ever sparred like high profile female boxers, other female boxers?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Okay. Yeah, I have. You too. Yeah, I sparred with Cecilia. I sparred with Kaylee Reese. I sparred with um those are the only two I can think of. But yeah, I mean, I sparred some not enough girls, I would say, that I would like.
So you spar more men than actual females?
Oh yeah. Men is usually all I spar. So if I get
Wow.
girl work, it's rare. But yep, the men keep me on keep me sharp. And you know, so if I know I'm training with the men, you know, a woman shouldn't be a problem to me.
Now, now, have you ever sparred with the men and you feel like they holding back or any of that, anything like that?
Yeah, sometimes, and I make it very vocal, not to do that. Either I'm gonna tell them or let their coach know, like, yo, like, is he playing? Because I find it disrespectful. So I'm like, if you playing, like, don't play with me, because we're not playing boxing. Like when I'm in there, like especially with sparring, like I take it serious because it is a serious sport, and I'm working on what I gotta work on. So I don't need someone like kind of taking me as a joke, and I kind of feel it because it's disrespect. There's a way to do it. Some men know how to do it, and some men kind of like jokingly do it. So
Now, any high profile men that you spar? We know Carissa Shields always talks about her sparring with Terrence Crawford and Tank Davis and, you know, Devin Haney and, you know, she always documents that. What about yourself?
yeah, I've sparred with Robert Easter one time or a time, Albert Bell, Tyler McCurry. Um, I sparred with Tony Harrison, Anthony Durrell, um, quite a few boxers.
Wow, Anthony Durrell, that's a big boy too.
Oh yeah, we got to spar. I sparred Show, the Russian. Sparred a few Russians. You know, at Krunk they had a lot of Russians fighters there, so I sparred with them. So yeah, I've always gotten male work, so I've worked with a lot of males in the sport.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, Alycia Baumgardner, do you have a favorite fighter that you look up to or that you try to emulate, or there's a fighter that reminds you of yourself?
I like Mike Tyson. I like his persona as a young fighter, because I feel like with this sport in particular, like for me, when I step in the ring, I'm a different person. I'm a different animal. So you gotta take your mental and take it to a like this is war. And I feel like when I hear Mike Tyson speak or when he's in the ring, like he's just an animal, and that's what you got to. It's a combat sport. It's competition against competition. Who's gonna leave victorious? And I feel like Mike Tyson just gives all that. So I like him a lot.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, and the one last thing. I first got to look at you when you beat Nadia Feliciano. How many fights you think will it take for you to fight for world title again?
I would say a good 3 fights. This next fight's going to be 8 round. I would like to get maybe 2 more 8 rounders, and then I'd say I'm ready for a title shot.
And let me ask you this: what's your ceiling as far as weight goes for yourself? What's the highest weight you see yourself topping out at?
I'd like to fight at 57. 57. What? Hold up. 40.
You think you
I
still
say, whoa.
Alycia, you got your Canelo weights going?
That is so funny. No, we're gonna do 147, maybe 52. Is it 52 or 54?
54.
54. That's a maybe, but 47 for sure. I would see myself doing like 126 to 147.
Okay.
My career. Mm-hmm.
Now, you said you in about 2 to 3 fights, you're gonna be looking for a world title. Is there anybody specific at any weight class? Are you gonna stay in this weight class, or it doesn't matter? You're just looking to get a title in and around your weight class.
Yep. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I feel like I'm an elite athlete. I stay in the gym. I stay ready. And I like the competition. Like, you know, for my fight against Christina, you know, I was 6-1, and I took her fight, and she was a 9-1 record, and I'm like, I'm ready for that. Like, I like that because I want to step up the competition. You know what I'm saying? And again, for me, stepping up competition is putting on a good fight for women's boxing. Like you see, you know, Michaela Mayer, who has these fighters that she's fighting, but when you really get to the real competition, it's when you're like, oh well, it's gonna be a different story. Like it ain't gonna be the same. So if I'm already fighting good competition early in my career, what's these other girls to me when I get to that? So that's how I look at it.
Right, you already have the experience. Now, how do you see your style matching up? I already asked you this. I know we already talked about this, but just for the people that's watching again, your style matching up with a Katie Taylor or a Cecilia Brækhus. You know, which of those styles you think would give you the most trouble, and which one you think that you see yourself just and it's the sport of boxing, so we got to respect it. But you see your style matching up perfectly with. Like Andy Ruiz feel like his style is all wrong for Anthony Joshua, but he feels like Deontay Wilder is a more difficult fight for him. Who do you look at in that same light?
I would say neither. For either one of those, I feel like my style is just different than a lot of women. I don't feel like there's nobody that has the same style as me. And personally, I don't feel like nobody's actually seen me fully, um, not fully, but like they haven't really seen me. I haven't even seen myself, and I know I have a lot to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I can box, definitely a puncher. I definitely can pressure you. I think with Katie Taylor, I definitely outboxed her. Cecilia, outboxed her. These girls ain't getting hit hard either. You know what I'm saying? I got power, like Mike Tyson type power. I feel like. But it's just a matter of time where I'm able to, you know, styles make fights, and when you get those fighters that you see that, because different fights bring out different fighting styles. I would say, you know, my fight with Feliciano is way different than my fight with Christina. You know what I'm saying? So, and even this last fight. So I just feel like there's nobody that has my type of style. It's definitely unique.
Yeah, Kurt.
Yeah, this is my own opinion. You don't have to comment on this. I'm just making a statement. I listen to fights very carefully, and I just want to say, man, Katie Taylor is so overrated. That's my opinion. She's very easy to hit, so your style does match up very nicely against Taylor. I thought she lost the fight when she fought at Madison Square Garden. The fight she fought this Saturday was a lot closer than what they had.
Right.
That they see. I ain't even gonna go to the other stuff. They just see a marketing tool in Katie Taylor. I thought she was the goods, but I think she's regressed a little bit as a fighter, or she's fighting tougher opponent. But your style matches up nicely against Katie Taylor because she's right for the pickings. That's my own opinion.
I agree. I agree with that statement. I agree that she is a little overhyped, and I feel like I was just talking to this with my dad. Um, she needs a boxer in front of her to beat her, and I feel like I'd be perfect for that, and someone who can hit hard. Not there's you can hit hard. Like Christina, she got some power, but she ain't hit hard enough to, you know, you gotta make these girls wobble. You feel me? Like, oh dang, she had her hurt in the 5th round or whatever. But I think just outboxing her, you know what I'm saying, and the power that comes with that too, footwork and just the experience. And I feel like that's what separates a lot of fights is experience. You see it in the ring if someone is an experienced, well seasoned fighter in there, you know. So I think that'd be a perfect matchup though, Katie Taylor and me.
And I want to say this, then you could go again, Kurt. But another fight I think is perfect for you too. I think your style matches up perfect with that. This person is Amanda Serrano.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when I watched the last fight, Heather Hardy, and I was there personally, and I was watched it up close, and you know, she won the fight, but I think that she was exposed too. You know, Heather Hardy was countering her. To my surprise, after the first, after she survived the first round in the onslaught, you know, there was times that she was having a lot of spots, and I didn't think that. I thought, you know, I thought Amanda was gonna clearly outbox her, and it was closer than what I thought. And I felt like, you know, she was exposed a lot, you know, and I think that your style is gonna give her a lot of trouble, as well as I think it could be both of them. You know, how do you think your style matches up with Amanda?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
I think your mic is faded to the back.
Oh, I would agree with you. I would say that my style against Amanda Serrano would be very difficult for her as well. I just feel like these girls ain't getting hit hard enough. You know what I'm saying? They ain't respecting power. And when you get hit, you respect someone's power. And then it's like, oh, okay, now what other adjustments I got to make? Then it comes down to boxing. Then it comes down to the experience of the boxing that you have. So I feel like that's what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? Skills pay the bills.
Right. Go ahead, Kurt.
In between fights, Alycia Baumgardner, how often you in the gym? Is it 7 days a week, 5 days in a week? How many days a week are you in the gym?
I'm in the gym 7 days a week. 7 days a week. It's important, you know. This is everything I wanted. I've dedicated my life, my time, to this sport. So I know that staying ready is important, and I can't lack. Like if I want to be great, and if I want to talk the talk, I gotta make sure I'm putting in the work and staying dedicated. That's facts because you can be good, you can be great, or you can be above and beyond. And I don't want to be mediocre. I like to challenge myself, and I like to strive to be a better me. So I know I gotta continue to put the work in, and I'm really blessed that God's able to equip me with a body that's able to take workouts like that every day. So I mean that's my drive.
What you got, Miss Boston?
Yeah, Alicia. I've read a couple of your articles and from the Fremont News Messenger, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you're a regular on that, but those are two very inspirational articles that I read. So, do you normally write for them? Is that something? Is that was just a couple times, or can you tell
No,
us
I
about that?
do. I do write for my local paper. I just been so busy. I usually try to do one once a month. I know I've kind of lacked a little bit these last few months, but yeah, it's something that I like to do in my spare time. And again, just motivate and encourage people.
Now,
Am
at
I?
least
Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead, Miss Boston. Go ahead.
Okay, I think you said you were 8 when you first put the gloves on. Was it 8? You
Hmm.
said. Was that something that you wanted to do, or someone kind of gave you gloves, or how did that work?
Yeah, so I started wrestling first at age 5, and then after wrestling was over, we had a boxing gym in my hometown. My dad asked me, big boxing family on his side, hey, do you want to try out boxing? Like, wrestling's over. I'm like, sure, I'll try it out. And just having an athletic background and being in a competitive sport like wrestling and wrestling boys, like I'm like, sure. And it just fell perfectly in my hands, and so it was on and popping in.
Good choice. Good choice.
Now, Lisa, let me ask you this. in the sport of boxing, we had a few tragedies in the sport. You know, one real close to me is Patrick Day. I knew him since he was 11 years old. You know, I just did a charity event at his gym. I know his coach, you know, very, very well. And that hit me, you know, hard. And so I want to ask you guys, you know, and I've been in contact with Leon Spinks, you know, and you know, he's he can't talk, he doesn't remember, you know, there's a lot of issues, health issues he had, along with Roger Mayweather and, you know, things of that nature. But what and I feel like you guys need to have some sort of insurance for you guys after you guys finish boxing, because you know you guys put your life on the line every time you step in the ring for our entertainment, and I just think that there should be, you know, some sort of security when you guys are finished boxing. It's like the only sport that doesn't have that. You know, what do you think that could be done for you guys after you finish in the sport of boxing?
I would say I would agree with you with the insurance. I feel like, you know, people, fans, and just people are so let's they're all for boxing, but they're not for the care of the individual of the boxer after the fight, after they retire, just like they are with a football player, a basketball player. You know, we go in there and it's a combat sport, and I feel like just as they want to see the fights, they need to make sure that the fighters are taken care of in and outside the ring. So I agree with the insurance that a fighter should have, and you know, to be taken care of and not have to have that worry in the back of their head, like what if something were to happen, you know, would I be taken care of? It's a guarantee. Yes, you would definitely be taken care of. You know, you will have extensive help for you, and you don't have to do charities. You know, you'll be taken care of, just like how, you know, they use you to be put on to for the world to see you. They need to have the same respect after. I agree.
Absolutely, I agree. What you got, Kurt?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off that. You know, boxing is my favorite sport by far. Everybody knows that. You see a lot of tragedies in the ring since the '80s. You know, I would just like to see, you know, boxers as yourself or a special breed. And like Blue said, you put your life on the line. Now they do have a pension, but that's only in the state of California. You know, I always said that boxing would be much better if they had a pension plan. They had a federal commission, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, because it's just, you know, boxing is a very dangerous sport, and you know, we as fans, we clamor for blood and knockouts and this and that, and you know, when
Mm-hmm.
tragedy happens, it's too late. We want to mourn, so we're hypocrites too as fans. So I just want to say, you know, you climbing in the ring, we appreciate what you do, and you're a special breed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. You know, I don't think it's we're quick to you know I don't box, you know, I don't step in the ring, you know, I'm just a journalist, but you know, we analyze the sport, we critique you guys, you know, and we have an opinion, you know, but I don't think it's praised enough. That's why I don't like to use the words this person is a bum, or you know, garbage. I don't like to refer to you guys that way, because you know, it's a very, you don't play boxing like you said. It's very, very dangerous, and it's for our entertainment. You know,
Right.
I'm glad that we can critique you after you guys step out the ring and everything's all right. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
just with you after a fight, you know, during training, you know, how do you get your body to back to normal, you know, and to a degree, you know, how do you get it to heal when you feel like you're 100%, no aches, no pains, or do you ever get to that point, or you just, you know, it's always aches and pains?
Um, no, I feel like recovery is important. Again, like when as an individual, being an athlete is important. People have to put that. I'm an athlete. I'm an elite athlete. I'm not just a boxer. You know, so recovery is important. You know, for myself personally, you know, I make sure that I'm getting massages, and um, I'm getting you know, extensive just recovery, because again, you put your body through so much training to fight, and it is just important that you put just as much time as to recover. So,
Any last words, Kurt?
No, I just want to say it's a pleasure having you on. I'm going to continue to follow your career. I've been a fan since day one, and your marketing tool, you have a fan-friendly style, and we're going to, support you with the LGBTC is behind you, and keep doing what you're doing.
thank you.
Ms. Boxing?
I just have one more question. As you said, Blue, a lot of boxers have either died or been seriously injured, and a lot of those incidents have been could have been. I'm not a doctor, but contributed by cutting weight. And I wanted to know how you felt about same day weigh-ins. Is that something that you think the sport needs to implement?
I've gotten asked that, and I've talked to my coach about that, and I wouldn't mind the same day weigh-ins. I feel like it'll stop the extra gaining of weight, and also the just cutting so much weight as well. So, there's the pros and the cons. I feel like, they had that rule a long time ago. They changed it to what it is now. And so I feel like with research, they can definitely be more in tune to see how they can be better with weigh-ins, and seeing how we can, make sure those type of things don't happen if it's causing with the weight gain or weight loss or whatever.
Right. And I also wanted to say congratulations again, and wish you much success in your future.
Thank
And we
you.
will definitely be supporting you and watching you and cheering you on.
Thank you.
Now, Alycia, before I let you go, you mentioned that you compete. You're not just a boxer; you're an athlete, and I know a lot of things that you have going on. Can you just tell the people what other things other avenues that you have, going on?
Yeah, so I'm working with Adidas. That's something that I enjoy doing. I just went to Atlanta for a photo shoot. So the boxing line should be dropping in Dick's Sporting Goods worldwide. I like, talking with the youth, encouraging the kids, um, you know, just doing anything I can do to give back. I feel like that's important. I think it's selfish to keep it all for myself and not be able to share, um, knowledge, wealth, with other people, because I feel like that makes the world go around and makes better people. I mean,
Now,
go ahead.
it's Alycia, not Alicia, right?
Yes, if you hear anyone say Alycia, please correct them, because it is Alycia. Make sure they're saying it right. It's Alycia, yes.
Absolutely. And so you're fighting December 14th
December 14th, yes.
in Philadelphia. Just let the people know where it's at, and where they could watch it and things of that nature.
Yeah, so it's in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We're gonna be doing a lot of promo for this fight. I know they're looking already for my opponent. I'm gonna get some flyers out there. Tickets will be on sale soon, so we're jumping on it. So I'll definitely be posting for sure.
Now let me ask you this before one more thing. You get some of the men that do. Would you show up to any of these women's fights? That's going to be ducking and dodging you. Show up to their fights, be at their fights, making your presence felt.
Yeah, I mean, I love being in the boxing atmosphere. So if there's a boxing fight and there happens to be the same girl that's in my weight class, I'm there. I'm always down to do interviews. Again, just promoting myself, promoting women's boxing, and yeah, definitely.
All right, I appreciate you coming on, and I will be at your fight, and I will be in touch. So I will be
Cool.
covering your fight. As a matter of fact, when you going to start training camp for that?
I actually Sunday I'm going to Tampa, Florida.
Oh, your camp is going to be in Tampa?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I'll hit you up behind the scenes.
Yeah. Okay, sweet.
All right.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys. Again, I know if it's one thing I like to put out there, I know I'm not going to be everybody's favorite fighter. There's going to be people who don't like me. There's going to be people who say, she sucks or her style this. I don't do it for them. I do it for me, and I do it, because I'm blessed with a God-given talent and to give him the glory. But people have to understand that it's an individual sport, so sometimes they get it twisted. So I'm not gonna be everyone's favorite, but as long as I know that I'm challenging myself and I can be the best that I can be, then I'm progressing in life and I'm progressing on who I am.
And that's a good thing, right? People pay to see you lose.
That's true. So I'm sure they're like, "Oh, pretty girl, yeah, I want to see her get beat up."
Yeah.
So,
I know you get that all the time. I know people. I put up videos and sometimes read the comments and people be like, "She box," like.
I know. Trust me, I be reading too. I'm like, man, y'all funny. They're like, oh, she's just a fitness model. But what people don't understand is like fitness is like my second thing. So if I'm not like boxing, I'm still working out, staying in shape. So fitness is what I do.
Right.
To stay in shape. So, for the naysayers, it's okay. Y'all see it sooner or later. I'm like a big kept secret, but that's okay.
Yeah, you're the worst kept secret because we know who you are. So,
right.
But I'll definitely be at your fight. I definitely will be supporting it, and don't be a stranger.
Hey, Blue, they want her social media in
Oh, they
the
want
chat.
your social media.
Okay, so you can follow me.
Oh, you faded away again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can follow me on Instagram at Alycia Baumgardner. I'm on Twitter at Alycia M Baum, and then on Facebook as Alycia Baumgardner. So pretty much all the same. Twitter just has my middle name as an M and then Baum. So.
Yep. Appreciate you. Appreciate everything you do, and good luck. And I will be at your next fight.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Y'all have a great night.
All right.
Care.
All right.
See you later.
That's Alycia Baumgardner, the Peopleizations. What you guys think? Go ahead, Kurt.
Hey man, look forward to it. Women's boxing is on the rise. You had Christy Martin and Lucia Riker and Layla Ali and Ann Wolf, and it disappeared for a while. And you got people like Amanda Serrano, Alycia Baumgartner, and Clarissa Shields bringing women's boxing back. So it's a great thing. You just need more exposure on the cable channels, man. Maybe we can get a women's fight on Channel 5 on the undercard, like they marketed Christy Martin. She used to be on Mike Tyson's undercard, and she became very popular, the coal miner's daughter. So, very exciting times at women boxing. So, let's get it started.
Yeah, I agree, man. And no bias. I just think that her style and her skill set is all wrong for a lot of these women that they're hyping up. What you think, Ms. Boston?
I think so too, and I love it that she wants the smoke. She wants it all, and she said from 130 to 147. She wants the smoke. So like I mentioned before, I definitely would love to see her, you know, in there with Michaela Mayer or Tierra Brown. Tierra Brown, she's up and coming too, and I think that would be a very good fight. So, but like, but like she said, the money's right. She'll move up and she'll do those 3 minute rounds. So that's good stuff. I'm glad you had her on, and everybody got to see her, and this is just, man, I'm so excited for her because she she has a lot of power. She was not lying when she's talking about power. Man, I think Gabriella Mazai, she hit Blue. She hit her with this body shot that was just, I mean, I felt so I felt so bad for her, and it was like it only took a minute, a minute, and the fight was over. So
Right.
yeah, definitely. Hopefully we can have her on again after her fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody needs to make sure they follow her on social media for real.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna cover her fight. I'm definitely gonna go out there and cover the fight. And
where's that fight at again? Where did she say that one was
she said
at?
it's in Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh, Harrisburg. Okay.
Yeah, Harrisburg in December 14th. So I'm definitely gonna go out there and check that out. I'm cover that fight. You know,
Good,
I
good.
think that I like Tiara Brown. You know, I
Yeah,
think I think that would be her toughest challenge.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah, I think that Amanda Serrano, she gets, and no, I don't want to take anything away from Amanda because she accomplished there's just 7 different weight classes. That's a skill in itself. You know what I mean? But she conquered 7 different weight classes, and but I think that in that fight with Heather Hardy, she was leaving herself open to a lot of punches. Amanda was, and I think that when you get a fighter like Alycia that has power and is accurate, she don't just flare punches. She doesn't just not flaring punches. Sometimes you get some fighters just flaring punches. She don't flare her punches. She's very accurate. That's why I was impressed with Estrada when she moved up this weekend because her punches were very, very accurate. She threw meaningful punches. She just wasn't letting them fly for no reason. Sometimes you get some people that just let them fly. Paul Williams was a guy that just let him fly. He had no destination where those punches was going. He just wanted them. He just wanted them out. You know what I mean? But she's accurate, and I thought that she won that fight. I think she should. I thought she should be undefeated. It was a close fight, but I thought she won the fight. But I think that Katie Taylor. I think she'll. She has the skill set to get rid of Katie Taylor.
I believe it.
Yeah, I think she can. What you think, Curry? You think she can knock out Katie Taylor?
Yeah, Katie Taylor get hit too easy. Alycia got power, man, and speed, man. It's a bad matchup for Taylor, man. I just don't think a lot of Katie Taylor, man. The last couple of fights I seen, man, she lost the one at the Passoon, and this fight she might have won, but Leonardo was tagging her. She was just a little too anxious, man. It was closer than a lot of people had it, man. I had it close, but I had Taylor winning, but because she has a machine behind her, and they try to market her and all that, but in politics again. But Baumgardner will knock her out, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I thought Katie.
And she'll knock her out quick too. I don't think it'll last that long at all.
Yeah,
I mean, Katie gets she gets hit so much. I mean, I'm just like, oh, I don't know what we thought. I mean, I'm one of those ones. I thought she was really good, and I don't know if that was because of the competition that she was facing, or like you said, I don't know if she's just getting old. I mean, older and her skill sets are going down. I don't know what it is, but she definitely has not looked good in a fight in a while.
yeah,
And that eye seems to puff up like that. It seems puffed up like that the last few fights too. So I don't know.
and my thing is, it almost looks to me as it looks like wear and tear for Katie Taylor or something. It looking like she's starting to show wear and tear or something like.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
something.
it seemed like she was aggressive, man. She just had to look sharp, and like Ms. Bonson said, maybe it's the competition that got better, man, because she definitely lost that Passoon fight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
no doubt. But I love the fact that she have legacy opponents there to build up her legacy. They
Yeah.
they have one another to build up their legacy. When Layla and Ann and the past women that paved the way for them, when they fought, they didn't have this many legacy fights available to them. She has
Right.
she has Amanda Serrano. She still has Heather Hardy. That was still a close fight. It was a barn burner. They both was, Heather Hardy was undefeated. You know what I mean? So she still has Heather Hardy. She still has Layla. I'm gonna say Layla. She still has Katie Taylor. She has Amanda. She has Cecilia. It's so many different Tiara Brown. She has so many different options that could build. That's legit legacy fights today's time that they didn't have available to one another. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I just think that the sport of women boxing is at an all-time high right now because of the wide range of available from all different weight classes. Now we got multiple weight classes.
Yeah.
That Estrada and Esparza fight, I'm like, man, if you watch that fight, there's no way you could look and say women boxing is not exciting.
Right.
That fight, right? You guys tell me, am I right or wrong? That fight was more exciting than the main event.
That was probably the most exciting fight.
It was the
Yeah,
best
it was.
fight.
And you know, I'm battling with myself to figure out if 3 rounds has something to do with it. And I mean, not 3 rounds, but 3 minutes has something to do with it. And I really think it did. I mean, I really enjoyed seeing them fight for 3 minutes. And I hope, I mean, a lot of people said some things about it, but you know, not so good things about it. But I think I do want to see 3-minute rounds.
I definitely think that it played a part. I thought because those 2-minute rounds. When I went to the Clarissa Shields Christina Hammer fight, it was like the fight was over in the blink of an eye, and I was like, and she put on I wanted more. It was like it just left you, wanting more, and that could be a good thing and a bad thing because too much of anything is no good for you. But I just wanted more. I thought it went too fast. You know what I mean? Right. And some fights we have that's 3-minute rounds, that's men fights, and you be like, oh my goodness, when is this going to end?
Yeah, that's true.
but that as far as a Estrada fight, I'm like, I was glued in. I'm like, man, that was the most exciting fight of the night. It was the most exciting fight of the night, and we had multiple fights on because let's not forget Burchett and Sosa fought. You know what I mean? It was more exciting than that. So. Yep. If you watch women boxing and say, oh, man, listen, you can't. If you watch it, see, it's just not promoted enough for me. I think that's where the problem lies. It's not the engine, like you said, Kurt, the engine behind Katie Taylor, because again, the sport of boxing is perceived different in the UK than it is here. Mm-hmm. And I know people are gonna say she's from Ireland, whatever. It's all the same area, right? And so the sport of boxing is perceived totally different over there than it is over here. Combat sports in the whole, right? It's just perceived totally different than it is here in the States. And so Katie Taylor, luckily to have that engine behind her, and then she's on these big undercards, Anthony Joshua undercard. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She's I think, wasn't she the co-main event for the Joshua Ruiz fight?
I believe so.
I think so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Remember, Floyd Mayweather used to bring these co-main. That's how he built up his fighters, the co-main event. He was trying to work his way to Danny Garcia. Remember, he kept Danny Garcia as a co-main event. Canelo Alvarez was a co-main event for a while. You know what I mean? And that's the way you build up fighters. Katie Taylor happens to be the co-main event on these fights. And she fought her fight was, and again, Katie Taylor fight might have been the second best fight of the night.
It was a good fight, though.
You know what I mean? So it's like, am I wrong, guys?
No, you're right. You're right. But we got people like you, Blue, that is gonna help promote this stuff.
Yeah, we got to push for it. And somebody just reminded me in the chat because I said I'm going to her fight that that's the same night. Jamel Charlo and Tony Harrison. Oh no, that's next week. Crawford and Kavakuskis and Richard Comey and Teofimo Lopez fight. Yeah. Mm. And see, that's a card that I wish she was on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I wish she was on that card. That'd be
She'll
perfect.
Get there though. She'll get there. She'll definitely get there.
But it just needs to be more, more exposure, and I'm willing to do it. And I appreciate her coming on. But guys, it's already 8:00 already.
Already.
Already. Time flies, man. Time flies.
It does.
Fun, right? But
absolutely.
Go ahead, Ms. Boston. Any last words for you?
Again, thank you for having me as a mediator. I know I was a little late. I get off a little late from work, but thank you. And Kurt, it's always a pleasure. I love y'all to death. The chat, y'all. I mean, I know we couldn't get to the chat today, but they're so active in the chat. And also, and I know they keep putting in the chat, but y'all subscribe to Marlo's Corner's new channel, Marlo's Corner 2, and it's in the chat. King Louis is putting it out there. But that's
Okay.
all I have.
Yeah, salute to Miss Boxing. Go subscribe to Miss Boxing. Go subscribe to Miss Boxing right now. Click on, I know she was in the chat, so click on her icon in the chat and subscribe to her channel. Go ahead, Kirk, close us out.
Oh man, great live stream. We thank Alycia Baumgardner, man, up and coming women's fighter. You know, a good one at that. So check her out, support her. You know, thank you, Miss Boxing, for your time and expertise. The blue blood, the capo, always on the front line, getting all these A-list guests, man. And hey, I'm just a fly in the ointment. I thank the chat. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a channel. LDBC. New media, we monopolized this thing, this boxing game on YouTube, man. I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow us on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to new media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all we got for y'all. Salute to Alycia Baumgardner coming on. Salute to Miss Boxing, my mediator. Subscribe to her channel. And salute to my co-host, Kurt Anderson, a.k.a. Kurt Sugar, a.k.a. The Historian, a.k.a. my co-host. Salute to each and every one of y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gone. Peace.
Peace.